On February 2nd, writer Dan Slott's long-awaited Reckoning War saga begins, launching in Fantastic Four, Reckoning War Alpha number 1 and then unfolding in the pages of Slott's current run on Fantastic Four. The story will shed light on the first war that rocked the Marvel Universe, a conflict that preceded Asgard, Galactus, and all the heroes you know and love. That war will now reignite and only the Fantastic Four can defend the universe from the chaos it will unleash. When I was 8 years old I read a particular Marvel comic that struck me. It got me thinking, if this happened, and that happened, then the whole Marvel universe would be in trouble. Every facet would be in danger if this conflict happened again, and I've sat back and waited since I was 8 years old and no one ever touched on this. And that made me happy, Slott explained to Newsarama. The Reckoning War is me finally being able to answer the question an 8-year-old me had: what if those guys showed up again? It's chaos, madness. A fight for your life. This is my Star Wars. Official description for Fantastic Four, Reckoning War Alpha, 2022, number 1. 15 years in the making, and it all kicks off here. In a time before the Kree, Skrull, or Shi'ar empires. Before the emergence of Galactus. Before the birth of Asgard. There was the First War. The greatest war to ever rage across the multiverse. Today, it is reignited. This is the day of reckoning. And all that stands between all of reality and revenge from the dawn of time are the heroes of Earth, the Fantastic Four and the mind of Mr. Fantastic. Starring the FF, She-Hulk, Jack of Hearts, the Unseen, the Silver Surfer and everyone in the whole damn Marvel universe. Writer Donny Cates and artist Ryan Stegman are wasting no time turning their transformative lens on Bruce Banner as part of their current run on Hulk. And with April's Hulk number 6, they'll reach into the same bag of tricks they used on their fan-favorite Venom run with a new threat described as basically the Hulk's Null. Null is of course the god of symbiotes who once controlled the Glintar, the alien species known as the symbiotes, the most famous of whom is, of course, Venom. Now, it seems Cates and Stegman will take a similar approach to expand the Hulk's mythos in a new and deadly cosmic direction. This new threat is basically the Hulk's Null, but just like Donny and Ryan's run on Hulk overall, it's crazier and more dangerous than you can imagine, editor Will Moss states in Marvel's announcement. The heroes of the Marvel Universe may think Hulk is the problem, but he's not. This is the problem. And after Hulk number 6, there's no stopping it. Whatever the Hulk is about to face, it's big enough to extrapolate out into the wider Marvel Universe, and when we say big, we mean massive, as the cover seems to show the gigantic villain squaring off with Hulk. Interestingly enough, the idea of a cult-type mythos redefining villain for the Hulk seems a bit like Hulk's last title, Immortal Hulk, in which Hulk wound up facing off with the One Below All, a nearly omniscient malevolent being with connections to gamma radiation and to the Hulk's powers. In the preview, Ms. Marvel continues her journey through a Bollywood world and finds herself nearly getting trampled by Loki's elephant during the God of Mischief's Desi wedding. Ms. Marvel, Beyond the Limit number 1 opened with the titular hero in Chicago on what was ostensibly a vacation. However, an incident occurred and Kamala was forced to foil a robbery at the Chicago University's physics lab. When she returned home to Jersey City, she found everyone was singing, as if they were in a Bollywood movie, a type of Indian musical cinema. In the second issue of Ms. Marvel, Beyond the Limit, Kamala nearly gets stomped by Loki's elephant. Just when it seems like she won't survive, though, she finds herself yanked away. She then sees a mysterious person running across the rooftops and discovers her own embiggening powers are on the fritz. As the preview comes to a close, she heads out to find Bruno, hoping he might be able to help in the transformed Jersey City. However, the preview hints that Bruno has also been affected by the Bollywoodification of the world. While there are still a lot of mysterious surrounding just what's happening to Kamala, solicitation information for the series indicates that the accident at Chicago University is related to just what's going on in her hometown. Ms. Marvel, Beyond the Limit Number 2. Elephants and Illusions and Doppelgangers, oh my. Ms. Marvel punched her way out of the Bollywood bubble she landed in when she got home from Chicago. But things are not exactly normal, and she still has no idea what happened, or if it could happen again. What's worse, it seems like she has a copycat lurking around Jersey City, and whoever they are, they're ruining her good name. They're escalating from snack thievery to scuffles with civilians, and wonky powers or no, Ms. Marvel has to find them fast. Marvel is getting ready to introduce readers to a transformed Peter Parker, with a new limited series titled Savage Spider-Man. When is Spider-Man savage and not amazing or spectacular, you ask? When he looks like this thing to your right. Savage Spider-Man is writer Joe Kelly and artist Gerardo Sandoval's 5-issue horror-tinged series that features Peter Parker's shocking transforming into what Marvel describes as a savage beast and a monstrous new being, as Peter finds himself on a wild journey filled with horror, savage thrills, and self-discovery. What happens when Spider-Man loses all those things that make him a hero, his heart, his spirit, his mind? What's left? That's where we are left after the Immaculatum and Zima had their way with Spidey in Non-Stop, a spider moving on anger and instinct, Kelly states. This chapter of the saga takes us to these places with Peter. I just hope there's something left in there to pull him back out. You may think you've seen a monstrous or vicious Spider-Man before, but never like this, Marvel's Spider-Man Group editor Nick Lowe adds in the announcement. This book is so intense that you're going to need to put it down between pages to get your breath back. If you're thinking to yourself, hey, isn't Joe Kelly already writing a Spider-Man ongoing book, Non-Stop Spider-Man, you would be correct, though there's news on that front. It's over. Between the COVID-19 pandemic's effect on the summer 2020 shipping schedule and Non-Stop Spider-Man series artist Chris Bachalo contracting COVID-19 himself, he's okay now. That series had several delays, and was on hiatus prior to its cancellation. Now it seems Marvel is switching gears, with Joe Kelly's Spider-Man story continuing on from Non-Stop Spider-Man into the Savage Spider-Man limited series with new artist Gerardo Sandoval. Spider-Man is always a huge challenge to draw, he's not an easy character for an artist. But at the same time Spider-Man is a huge joy to draw, and now we have a Savage Spider-Man who provides an even bigger challenge for an artist, says Sandoval. I have the pages that I am working on and I can say that I am doing my best work here for sure. Joe Kelly is the kind of writer that understands an artist needs enough room to create great illustrations, and it makes my work easier and more fun. I really hope you enjoy this new book as much as I do. Beginning in January 2022, Sabretooth launches from writer Victor Lavallee, artist Leonard Kirk and colorist Rain Baradoug. The series features the return of Wolverine's dreaded arch-rival, who was exiled from Krakow and banished to the pit underneath the island during House of X. Sabretooth was given this sentence by the Quiet Council for violating Krakow's newly created second law, murder no man. Now, the truth behind what Sabretooth has been doing in exile will be revealed, with Marvel teasing that the answer is not what you expect. Sabretooth will be the first time that Victor Creed has been the star of his own book since a 4-issue miniseries in 2004. Since then, he has been featured in Uncanny X-Men, Weapon X, and even Uncanny Avengers. His return couldn't come at a worse time for the X-Men, who have begun to splinter in the wake of the Hellfire Gala. Magneto has become an enemy of Krakow's government. Sabretooth, 2022, number 1. Down in a hole. Sabretooth went into the pit, sentenced to an eternity of torment. Sure, that sounds like hell, but maybe that's where he feels most at home. What's he been doing down there? What secret deal has changed his fate forever? And what if he's not alone? Award-winning novelist Victor LaValle teams up with amazing artist Leonard Kirk to bring us the story of what lies beneath Krakow.